Planet X TV.
Hey everybody, Outback Zack here, right in Dana Point, California, USA. An absolute place to go. We're going to go and check out what's going on here. Let's find out why this place is the place to go to.
Only here on Planet X.
My dad, Hobie Alter, and my father started building surfboards in his garage in Laguna Beach in 1950. Balsa wood boards. Walter Hoffman, who's also going to be honored here, was kind of his mentor and told him where to go buy balsa wood. And then he went on to build or come up with foam surfboards as they're built today. So he formulated polyurethane foam, and was building Hobie surfboards in 1958 with foam, and then went on. And then after that, balsa was dead, and it was all about foam surfboards as it is today. And opened the first surf shop in Dana Point in 1954. Manufactured surfboards right here in Dana Point since '54. Went on to build Hobie cats in 1968, testing the Hobie 14, which is this same boat, right down the beach at Wayne Schaefer's house on Poche Beach, and we lived down there as well. And then, went on to build the Hobie 16 and other catamarans, and not just was it the boats, but created a whole sailing lifestyle. There's people race these boats all around the world to this day, and it's a great group of people that their common theme is something sailing. It's not their work, not how much money they have, none of that. It's just out to have fun on the water.
Well, the first time I met Hobie was when we were making Big Wednesday, and Terry Martin was making some of the boards, and we came down to the factory, and that was when I first got to know him. And of course, through the years I was around here then from time Big Wednesday. I've been here ever since. And so, of course, ran into Hobie at many different social functions. But I think the thing that's most important to all of us about Hobie's legacy is that most of us have a job in the surf industry because of Hobie Alter. If it wasn't for him opening a surf shop, we might not be doing what we do today. And I think that's the most important thing to remember.
I think my favorite memories, we were lucky. We were, all of us kids were lucky. We had a toy maker as a father, so we got to play with a lot of great toys. We got to test them, play with them, ride them, surf them, sail them, ride them, everything. And we did a lot of fun stuff. We sailed in sailboat races around the world. We did other things besides sailing, rode motorcycles, and it was pretty much an action sports lifestyle that my dad allowed us to lead.
The Hobie surfboard, was one of the first boards that everybody wanted to have, and still to this day. I mean, I just saw this beautiful, for instance, Phil Edwards glider. I mean, if you don't want that board, there's something wrong with you. And so that legacy has continued to the day, and it's just great that they put this incredible statue here. I mean, there isn't a statue anywhere in the world on a Pacific highway everyone's gonna drive by and go, wow, that's Hobie Alter and the Hobie Cat and Hobie surfboards. There's nowhere in the world where it's like that.
I really enjoyed learning about Hobie Alter, a legend right here in Dana Point. More legends right after this break on Planet X TV.
Can you hear that? The oceans are talking to us. They're in trouble, but we can help them by winning victories against overfishing, pollution, and more. Visit oceana.org and join the campaign today, because everyone can be an ocean hero.
Planet X TV.
Hey everybody, this is Zack Heart, and I am on my adventure in Dana Point. I'm just trying to hide from the sun here, and you're doing a fantastic job of helping me with that, Hosam. So this is Hosam, and Hosam is the owner of this scuba shop. What's the scuba shop's name?
Beach City Scuba.
Beach City Scuba. This is where you find everything you need to find on scuba. So let's start with, tell us a little bit about how long have you been here for? What do you guys do here?
We literally do everything. We teach classes, certified divers. We sell all latest diving products. We arrange both the local trips and exotic trips throughout the world, really. And we maintain products, we rent gear, we just basically cover it all.
Fantastic. That's great. So as far as the trips that you cover, so obviously people can get everything that they need here, but the trips are interesting because I'm guessing that when, people want to go scuba diving, you've got experienced people, you've got amateur scuba divers, but I guess, you can go out in the ocean anywhere, but really knowing where to go to find the most incredible spots underwater. You guys look after that. So how does that all work?
Well, luckily over here we're right by the ocean, and we're in Orange County in Southern California, and Laguna Beach has probably the most dive spots in Southern California.
Really?
Yes, it has plenty of dive spots, and it has a lot of diversity to it, easy access. In addition, we have our dive boat in Dana Point Harbor, which is the only commercial dive boat really in Orange County. Our business here in Dana Point, I personally have owned the store for 26 years.
Wow. Okay.
Our Laguna Beach store has been there since 1963.
Wow.
So we have a lot of history, and we have a lot of customers that have grown with us. I've known a lot of people that who are adults now, but I drove them to the pool when they were 12 years old.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, that's always makes you enjoy what you do a lot more, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sure do.
Now, as far as your equipment, now you've got some products here that, from what I hear, are what everyone wants these days.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about which one do you want to start with first?
Well, when I started diving, people really didn't use computers as much, dive computers. It used to be also simple, but most of the people use tables. And
They use what?
Tables to figure out how long can they stay for at each depth. So
What do they use? Tables, did you say?
Tables, yes.
What is that?
A table with numbers. So it's a table that you use to plan your dive. So it has the depth and the time that you can stay at each depth.
Right. Okay.
So it's a mathematical way of figuring out how long can you stay at each depth, or
So
how.
that was the
so you
primitive
can.
way of doing
That was a
things.
way to plan
That
your
was when they're
dives.
going, okay, how do we make sure that they don't
They
run
don't-
out of air?
yeah,
and they
well,
get
it
back
was-
up in time.
It was more about decompression sickness,
Oh, wow.
which is a
Okay.
release of nitrogen if you stay down there so long and you come up too fast without stopping. So,
Right.
because what we practice is called no decompression diving, which means that you can ascend directly from any depth straight to the surface without having to stop.
You can go at any speed back. 'Cause,
Well, not at any speed, but you have to go on a moderate speed, and the speed usually is about 1 foot per second as you go up.
Right.
And we used to have tables in order to figure out if, based on our maximum depth, how long can we stay and how long the dive should be.
Right.
And then computers came out and they did all the math and made it much easier. And then as they continued to advance, they came up with computers as small as watches that can has a sensor that senses the pressure in your tank, and it alerts you if you get in low on air or if you're breathing too hard, and
Right. Because in the
and if
movie-
you're ascending too fast. Yes.
Right, yeah, and the ascending too fast, because that's one of the things they always focus on in the movies. Someone
Yes.
will be like, running out of there, and they'll panic, and they'll be like, trying to get to the surface as quickly as they can, and they're like, no, slow down, don't.
Correct.
And they're saying that you're going to decompress too fast. Is that what they're saying?
Correct.
And they've usually got blood coming out of their nose, and it's all over.
It's not as dramatic as the movies, but yes, that can happen, and
That's good
that's
to
what
know.
we teach not to do.
Right.
That's why the whole purpose of taking a class, so you can learn how to dive safely.
We'll be back with more from Dana Point right after this break, right here on Planet X.
Planet X TV.
Where do the 129 million plastic bottles that you use per day go? 4 in 5 invade the oceans, and we get to eat their particles as food. Since other fishes feed on me, and then you feed on them, in a certain way, your own trash will get back to you. My home is polluted because you don't reuse. My family is dead because you don't recycle. So now, will you think of me next time you choose plastic?
Planet X TV.
And computers have became more sophisticated, and they increased to the records of safety because now they alert you to anything that you do that is not safe.
Right.
So it alerts you if you're going too fast to slow down, if you're getting low on air. And now with air integrated computers, they tell you how much air you have in your tank, and based on the drop in the pressure in the tank, they tell you how long you have before before you have to ascend and so on.
Right.
And you can even build a safety margin, like how much air you want to come back with.
Great.
Okay.
So
Originally,
that's
computers,
what this does.
yeah, and originally the computers were bigger, bulkier, and of course they were black and white. And then they got smaller, as small as a watch size.
Are these the same?
They are all the same. They are all
They all do exactly the
computers.
same, right?
The difference is
Yeah.
that this is a
Do I
watch.
put that one on me?
Sure.
You just put it over the top of my sleeve like that.
There you go. Actually, if you're gonna have it yourself, then you need to read the number. So,
Yeah.
We'll put one on right here.
Great. So just like a watch.
Yes. So you wear it as a watch. It has a transmitter that attaches on the ferry stage that attaches to your tank.
Right.
And that senses the pressure, and it transmits the pressure to here. So you can read the pressure right here on your screen.
Do you want a close up of that? Can you see it? Beam me up, Scotty.
And now computers have gotten now are turning into color computers, and they have them also as small as a watch size. So you can wear a watch that you can use every day. And at the same time, it'll become your dive computer. Will guide you for how long and how deep can you stay, alert you if you're getting low on air or if you're ascending too fast.
They're really relying on this completely.
Yes, and
Completely.
there's an advantage
It's a
to it.
life-saving device.
It doesn't allow you to make mistakes in math, calculating how long.
Right.
It also logs the dive, so it keeps a history of your diving. It points later on. You can download it to your computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of them now are Bluetooth. You can download all your diving history.
And I love the name. It's called Aqualung.
Yes. Aqualung is the largest manufacturer of scuba gear in the world.
Right. They are?
Yeah,
Wow.
they are.
Okay, that's great to know.
Yeah.
Now, one of the best dive spots in the world is the Red Sea in Egypt, and that's where you're from.
Yes.
And I've been there too, so
that's great.
we're like brothers now. I speak a little bit Arabic, but not very well. So tell us a bit about
I
that.
grew up in Cairo, but I actually learned diving right here in Laguna Beach.
Oh, you actually learnt here?
Yes, I learned
wow.
here in Laguna Beach about 30 years ago, and liked it so much, and eventually got into the diving business, and I own my own store. And up till now, every year I take about 20 people with me, and we go dive in the Red Sea, and we do a tour of Egypt. Actually, I just got back 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
it was amazing. You got lots of family there?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I do.
well, I know the Egyptians, they have big families.
Yeah, they do.
That must have been amazing.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, it was beautiful.
Now, viewers, we're going to go and take a look at the store. Let's go. Hey, so that was amazing what we just saw. We just met Hosam, who's from Egypt, where I have lived, and what a shop he's got. And look, what a history as well. You know, he's been 26 years. And, you know, one of the things that he mentioned, which was a real high point, I think, was just the relationships that he's had with people. You know, he taught people how to scuba dive when they were, 12 years old. He was saying, and that relationship and those relationships have continued on all these 26 years. So there's a lot of heartfelt stuff there. But they have got so much stuff and they really know their business. So honestly, if you want to learn how to scuba dive or at least know where to go, like the best places to go, he's the guy to go and see. And they've got 7 stores. So, you'll probably find one that's not too far from where you are. Outback Zack from Planet X here at Dana Point. We'll be right back.
Planet X TV.
Can you hear that? The oceans are talking to us. They're in trouble, but we can help them by winning victories against overfishing, pollution, and more. Visit oceana.org and join the campaign today, because everyone can be an ocean hero.
Planet X TV.
I'm here at the 50th anniversary of Hobie Cat. This is where it all began, right here in Dana Point. One of the most important things that the Hobie Memorial Fund or Foundation has done is to create this great memorial across the street over here. And what they have is a replica, a 14-foot Hobie Cat in bronze with Hobie sitting on it and sailing it off of a wave and into the Pacific Coast Highway. It's fabulous. It's something really special that the foundation has worked hard on to develop the look so that we'll maintain that cultural idea where people will drive by every day and remember Hobie and Hobie Cats.
Well, Hobie Altar means a lot to this community, and so the idea was brought up by all the people who know Hobie, who worked with him, who I want to say grew up with him in building his business here, and they came up with this idea to honor him because he's such a big part of this city. So went out with the idea, had to raise money, had to pitch the idea, and worked very hard to make it a reality. Got the support of all the people you saw here today, a lot of private donors, also the city, but all the work that was done that went into this, really the credit goes to the people who knew Hobie best and worked with him, lived with him, played with him, surfed with him, sailed with him.
Wayne Schaefer and Hobie, they took this around the world. They gave sailing to a lot of other countries, a lot of world places that sailing wasn't even available, and they developed this Hobie regatta concept, and it's just a wonderful day. This is part of the Hobie Foundation here today. We're celebrating Hobie and celebrating the culture that he gave us here in Southern California. It was developed here on Poche Beach, and it's just a special day. People from all over the world will be interested in what happened here today.
So the Hobie company started in 1996, and it actually started just close down the beach here. They put 6 brand new first production Hobie 14s on the beach at Poche, and they sailed up here to Dana Point and back again, and that was really the genesis and the start of the Hobie Cat company. So we've been in business for like 50 years and 4 months exactly.
I think the brand, they got into kayaks real heavy with the Hobie Cat company, and you see a lot of fishing kayaks. It's gotten really popular for them. They have a pedal drive system, the Mirage Drive they call it, and that's been incredibly popular. That was not designed by my father, but designed by some other great engineers at Hobie Cat. And they just kind of keep looking for good lifestyle, fun products that sort of fit the mold of the brand.
The company, as many companies do, has grown into a number of different product lines. We still do sailboats, we do surfboards, we do stand-up paddle boards, stand-up pedal boards, pedal kayaks, fishing kayaks, just all sorts of things. So we're kind of a multi-water sport company nowadays, worldwide.
Well, the Hobie Cat's kind of become a great recreational boat for hotels and not only private owners, but most hotels that you go to, resorts, will have a couple Hobie Cats and paddle boards that you can rent out for the day, and it's just been kind of a staple resort item that has worked really well. Some of the newer Hobie Cats, they have made them out of rotomolded products that's a little more durable for that recreational market, but they still make high-end fiberglass product for the more the racing and high-end market.
Hi, this is Doug, and you're watching Planet X.
Planet X TV.
Where do the 129 million plastic bottles that you use per day go? 4 in 5 invade the oceans. and we get to eat their particles as food. Since other fishes feed on me, and then you feed on them, in a certain way, your own trash will get back to you. My home is polluted because you don't reuse. My family is dead because you don't recycle. So now, will you think of me next time you choose plastic?
If you wish to appear on Planet X TV, or to get more information, please email us at info@planetx.tv.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
And we're here for the Hobie Memorial, which is a foundation that helps perpetuate the Hobie legacy to be able to help younger kids in sailing, help other people and scholarships and different things. So the Hobie Memorial Foundation is a very important part of keeping the culture and the Hobie flame alive. Because you know what? All these people that are here today, they're all having a Hobie day. And also part of the day today was to run into a lot of people from International Surf Properties. International Surf Properties have been very active with the culture of surfing in and around the world. We want to make sure that the surfing culture is alive and well cared for and shared. It's really important that here in California is the birthplace of the surf culture, and now we're trying to spread it around the world through ISP, International Surf Properties, which is a great, great organization.
What's PT up to these days? Well, he's been living in China most of the time, helping develop the Chinese surfing program, with one day hoping they can get in the Olympics, because in China, being in the Olympics is everything. So that's what I've been up to for the last couple of years. Wan Chung Lung means get a good wave.
I had a great time right here in Dana Point. And where are we? Right here on Planet X!